Thank you, and thank you, Des Moines Register, for inviting me and for organizing this great event. I am Julia Ofenbakh. I'm running for Secretary of State on the Libertarian ticket, and a lot of people have asked me questions of, we don't know who you are, tell us. And that made me think about it. And first, I'm a woman. I am a mother of 2 teenagers. I am a lawyer. I'm a businesswoman. I'm a libertarian. And as you can probably all hear by now, I'm also an immigrant. I am that Russian that you want in charge of your elections. Yes. I immigrated to the United States 26 years ago with my family, and we came here as visitors and asked for political asylum. Because of how long it took us to get to the citizenship, which was 16 years, for the first time in my life, I was able to vote at the age of 32. I take constitutional right to vote as privilege. It is very important to me. It is near and dear to my heart, because for the first time in my life, somebody was able to hear my voice through a ballot at the age of 32. Unlike many other candidates, I actually read the Constitution. I am a lawyer. And I can tell you that I read that there is a constitutional freedom of speech that does not come with a state-issued ID. There is a constitutional freedom of religion that does not come with a state-issued ID. And there is most certainly a constitutional right to vote that also does not come with a state-issued ID. I know it because I read the Constitution. The fact that Iowans right now have their constitutional right impeded upon by a voter ID is appalling to me and upsetting as someone who took 16 years to get to the voting poll. I have a friend who worked during this recent primary elections as a poll worker, and he observed lack of training that was provided to the poll workers. The poll workers were expected to work the 12-hour shifts or 14-hour shifts without breaks or without change at a very minimal compensation. What he observed is some poll workers were making fun of people requesting libertarian packets. That's not acceptable. Why? Because the Secretary of State's office should be a nonpartisan office, because we have to protect the integrity of our elections. And making fun of people who vote differently than you is not protecting that integrity. And I can tell you, as somebody who's ran my own business for many years, the lack of professionalism and the lack of training trickles down from the top. It is the job of the Secretary of State to make sure that poll workers are trained properly and act in a professional manner. Because at the end of the day, the poll workers are the people who represent the Secretary of State. They are his face. They are that office's agents. And they have to act in the manner that their superior portrays them to. I had another friend who, in the special elections in West Des Moines, attempted to use the affidavit as his voter ID. And there's a little known fact that during this transitional year that we have, that you can come to the polls and say, I am in fact who I claim to be, fill out an affidavit, and vote without needing a state-issued ID. He came at 7 p.m. in the evening, and he requested that affidavit so that he could vote without an ID. The poll workers at that time did not know what he was talking about. And after about 10-15 minutes of shoveling and shuffling and calling people, they went to a container that was stashed far away in the corner and found in the bottom of that container the affidavit form and let him fill out. This was 7 o'clock in the evening. I want to know how many people were turned down because they were not able to exercise that option, because the poll workers were not trained. This is a problem. My other important issue as to why I'm running for Secretary of State is that I am a business owner, and I am a lawyer who supports business owners. I built my practice for about 9 years around small business owners. These are the people that I'm passionate about. I specialize in business and business litigation, and while my practice is general practice, I absolutely love and support business owners. Small business owners are the people who bring creative and innovative ideas to the state of Iowa. They're the ones who support our economy. They're the ones who build our economy, and they're the ones who pay taxes and create jobs. Up until recently, we did not have a fast-track system. And I have to give credit to where credit is due. The fast-track system was implemented this May, I believe, by Secretary of State's office, and it works fairly well. Yeah, there are glitches. Every once in a while, everyone would have a glitch, but it works fairly well. What makes me concerned is that why now? Minnesota had the same system for about 10 years. Why did it take 10 years to establish that system? Is that because it's election year? Do our business owners not deserve better than to have their support provided by the Secretary of State's office or any other government officials in years other than the election years? I'm going to take a break. It's really hot up here. Sorry about that. Many people have asked me, how will I be able to work across the party lines, and will I be able to do it? And I can tell you that my job as a Secretary of State or any other elected official is to represent the citizens of the state of Iowa. And I will treat that job as if I am an attorney and as I represent my clients. And when there are attorneys on the other side that I work with, even during the litigation cases, we exchange information and we work well together. I have absolutely no problem going through across party lines and working together with people on the other side of the aisle, or I would be in the other corner of the aisle. I would treat the job as if the Iowans are my clients and represent the interests of my clients to the best of my capacity. And I believe this sums up the reasons of why you should trust this particular Russian with your elections.